The year is 2012 and there are two clear winners in the e-commerce industry, Amazon and Flipkart. Hundreds of companies came in the industry and they failed to survive against these two giants. However, in this environment, a very ambitious lady started a beauty e-commerce company. It is doomed to fail, people told her. Who does even buy makeup online and how will you survive against Amazon and Flipkart? Despite all these doubts and criticism, she went ahead with her company and built a very successful and today even profitable e-commerce company, Nykaa. So hi guys, I'm Anushka here, and in this video we'll talk about what makes Nykaa so successful. How did it survive against the big e-commerce giants? How does Nykaa make money, and what does the future hold for Nykaa with its IPO coming? Nykaa was founded by Mrs. Falguni Nayar. Even before Nykaa, she had an incredibly successful career as an investment banker. She was the managing director of Kotak Mahindra Investment Bank. But in her late 40s, she decided that she wanted to start something of her own. She started a beauty e-commerce company because she saw that there were these few gaps that were there in the industry that the big players were not catering to, and there was also a change of trend happening in this industry. She then perfectly positioned Nykaa to capitalize on these gaps and the changing trend. It was these insights that Mrs. Falguni Nayar had that actually led to the success of Nykaa. Let's take a look at these insights. Now, a lot of women in India actually purchase their beauty products or makeup from retail stores near their house. These stores have very limited options. There are a lot of duplicate products that are sold here because there is no guarantee of authenticity and there is very little assistance provided by the store to the woman in purchasing her makeup. So, the store won't exactly tell her what is in fashion, what shade suits her, or what other products she can buy. And for the longest time, this all was enough. For the longest time, women in India were okay with only buying kajal and lipstick because that is what everyone around them was doing. Women got introduced to a very different world, especially the younger women. They saw these influencers, beauty bloggers, and people from all around the world using all these brands and different makeup products in their daily beauty routines. They were educated and the awareness spread here. And this awareness that was spread created a huge demand in the market. Because of this demand, the beauty industry in India today is growing at 12% annual CAGR. And the beauty industry by 2025 is estimated to be valued at 2 lakh crore. And this is all because of social media. So now women wanted these products and they actually started going to the retail stores near their house and they didn't really find any of those brands that they wanted or the products that they wanted. So there was this latent demand that was there. In the bigger cities, there were a few more options available at malls, but even then the collection was very limited. I still remember my mother calling for these few brands or these few products that she regularly used from whoever who was going abroad. This demand for luxury brands and different products was something that no one in the market was catering, and that is what Mrs. Falguni Nayar actually started with. Later, she saw that Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities were even more underserved. Even the common and popular brands were not available. So soon after starting luxury products, she bought a lot more brands on the platform and started catering to Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities as well. Now, these cities had such latent demand that today, 64% of the total products that are sold on Nykaa actually come from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. So then the question arises, the demand was there, but why couldn't other companies and the bigger companies like Amazon or Flipkart cater to it? This is because A, makeup is something that you apply to your face, so you want it to be of very good quality, and B, it is very expensive. This very normal lipstick, which is a drugstore lipstick, the brand is Lakme, so it comes from to a lower to medium level in brands in terms of expensiveness and luxury. This one lipstick is for 500 rupees. And when you talk about luxury products, this small dabba from MAC is 2700 rupees. So makeup is very expensive. You want authenticity if you're paying so much for these products. And with Flipkart and Amazon, what happens is these e-commerce platforms are actually aggregators. They are marketplaces. The third-party sellers, they actually come and sell on these platforms. So there is no guarantee of authentic products, which is a very big ask when you're buying makeup. And that is why Nykaa has a very different model. Nykaa actually has an inventory-led model. It purchases makeup either from verified distributors or directly from the brands itself. So hence we can trust Nykaa that the product that they're selling is an original branded product and they're not selling us duplicates. Also, Nykaa focuses a lot on curation of products. So on Nykaa you will find a lot of different variety and a lot of different brands, but they're still very limited when you compare to other platforms that are there. So making a choice is easier, and you know that if a product is available on Nykaa, more or less they have done the due diligence, and that is why it is there on the platform. So that a little trust and camaraderie is also created between Nykaa and its customers. But the most incredible foresight that Mrs. Falguni Nayar had was women are going to start wearing makeup on a regular basis. The adoption of makeup is going to increase, and this is all because of social media. We all have started living online. We all have started posting snippets of our life on social media, and hence we want to look a little bit more presentable. And because we see influencers and content creators, we aspire to look like them, and we also have more education. That is why on a day-to-day basis, a lot of women actually were starting to integrate makeup products and skincare products. Say even 10 years before, not a lot of women were actually using such a big variety of self-care and beauty products. The maximum usage was simple kajal and lipstick, and in the self-care side there were oils and moisturizer. But today there are just so many options available, and because we're seeing them a lot on social media, the demand and desire is also there. So now a lot of women actually start wearing makeup very early on, from their college days itself, and once they enter the workforce and they have a little more disposable income on their hand, they definitely upgrade the brands that they're using and start using a lot more different type of products. Now, the products that we use on a daily basis, they are part of our routines now. Once we have selected a few products that we want to use, we are very loyal to them, because it is incredibly difficult to find makeup products which actually are of your skin shade, which suit your skin type and is something that you're comfortable wearing throughout the day and on a regular basis. So that creates incredibly sticky revenue for Nykaa. If I take my own example, it took me at least 3-4 concealers to find the perfect concealer for my skin type and shade, and it took me so many lipsticks to find the perfect shade and the formula for myself, that I am extremely loyal to this. I don't even want to experiment now, because experimentation is costly. Each of this lipstick cost at least 300 to 500 rupees, and I don't want to spend that amount of money if I know what works for me. So now I actually order these products like I order my shampoo and my toothpaste. At a regular interval, I need them and I am going to order them. And that is when Nykaa is perfect. I don't have to experiment. I know exactly what I want. Nykaa is giving me great discounts on them, and they give me these products at my doorstep. I don't even have to make an effort to go to the store near me to buy these products. Hence, this business is extremely sticky for Nykaa, because we are brand loyal, and Nykaa has made it so easy for us to purchase them. We don't really mind ordering from Nykaa, and I have been doing that for so many months now. This adoption and wearing of daily makeup has started largely in the bigger cities. If we actually look at the repeat purchases that Nykaa gets, the CEO herself said that 50% of Nykaa consumers are routine consumers. This shows that how sticky the business is and how on a certain periodic basis the demand for makeup is going to be there. But eventually it's even going to go to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Now, of course, this wearing of makeup on a daily basis is limited to a very small audience, but the change has started to happen, and a lot more people in the smaller cities are also adopting to this wearing of makeup on a daily basis. So the market for Nykaa is going to increase multi-folds in the coming few years. And this actually shows in the numbers itself. The online beauty and personal care market in India has grown at a 60% CAGR in the last 4 years. But even then, this online is only 8% of the total beauty and personal care market in India. Hence proving that there is immense scope of growth for Nykaa in India. Now, apart from selling makeup products to customers, Nykaa also provides services to the brands that are selling on its platform. Now, capitalizing on these changing trends and identifying the latent demand is what made Nykaa so successful. But how much money is Nykaa earning from its operations? If you look at the financials, Nykaa in financial year 2021 did a revenue of 2400 and a profit of 61 crores. The revenue is a 38% growth from financial year 2020. This again shows how underserved the beauty market in India is and how rapidly it is increasing. But the major cost of Nykaa is actually cost of goods sold. Because Nykaa has an inventory-led model, it has to pre-hand purchase all the products from the companies. This way, there is a lot of cost involved in maintaining the stock, as well as it is earning very little margins, which it earns as commissions from these brands. Now, one of the ways in which Nykaa can actually reduce its cost of goods sold and increase its profit margin is by introducing and selling more products under the label owned by Nykaa. Now, by doing this, they can actually increase their profit margins because makeup products themselves have very high margins of 60, 70, even 80% in some cases. Nykaa, because it is selling to a lot of consumers, it has a lot of data as to what the consumers need and what they are demanding and what are the gaps between what they're demanding and what is being sold. And by doing this, they can perfectly tailor the products that the audience needs and sell them. This is the same thing which Amazon does already, and a lot of people are saying Zomato will also do. But one thing to note here is that for Nykaa, this becomes a little difficult. Amazon and Zomato both are bigger and more powerful companies than the companies that are selling on their platforms. But for Nykaa, the case is different. Big companies, big global brands are actually selling their products on Nykaa. So now if Nykaa blatantly copies their product, it actually can get into trouble, and it already has. For example, L'Oreal actually sued Nykaa for copyright infringement for the product line Maybelline and the color combination of Maybelline. The district court passed an injunction in favor of L'Oreal and restrained Nykaa. Nykaa then appealed in the High Court and the case is still pending, but we can see that Nykaa has to be very careful and very smart as to the products it is making with the insights that it is getting. Now let's look at what are the future plans of Nykaa basis how it is planning to allocate the money it raises from its IPO. Nykaa in its IPO is planning to raise around 530 crores. Out of that, 130 crore is going towards debt repayment. Other than that, 200 crore is actually going to be spent on increasing brand visibility and awareness. This means that the marketing expenditure is actually going to increase and the company is going to be aggressive in terms of expansion and getting newer customers. Also, the company mentioned that it is going to spend around 35 crores in opening of retail stores for Nykaa beauty products. Now, this becomes very important because even though consumers are getting educated and aware about the products and about the different brands from social media content creation, but makeup still remains very expensive, and having a physical store where the customers can actually go and test all the products and the employees there can assist them in selecting a product will be really helpful in getting customers for the first time. Now, once the customer becomes a little more comfortable and aware as to what products are there and how to use them, the repeat purchases then can be taken care of by the online platforms of Nykaa. So this omni-channel presence actually is important in the beauty industry, and Nykaa has identified that well. But this also means that the expenditure in terms of maintaining the physical stores as well as depreciation is going to increase. Now, another area where Nykaa is going to invest from the IPO proceeds is towards the fashion segment. It estimates to spend around 35 crores in acquiring more fashion brands and setting up a physical retail stores for the fashion segment of Nykaa. Now, in the fashion segment, Nykaa does not want to be a discount-led store. It instead wants to focus on curating high quality and high-end brand. The company actually expects that in the coming years, fashion segment will be around 40% of the total revenue. However, fashion is completely different than the beauty market. There are already a lot of players in the fashion industry, and apart from bigger giants such as Myntra or Amazon or Flipkart even, there are smaller D2C players which have a very strong foothold in the premium segment. Now, the target audience of Nykaa, which is Gen Z and millennial women, already have a lot of cheaper and affordable options in terms of fast fashion brands, and this is what they're actually looking for in clothes. Because in clothes, you're not exactly looking for quality, but you're looking for quantity. You want to wear a lot of clothes and you want to change your wardrobe with trends. And because of this, the premium collection that Nykaa has curated actually makes it a very premium brand catering to a very premium crowd. This can actually be seen from the fact that Nykaa has the highest average order value amongst the leading fashion marketplaces. The average order value is around 4,000 rupees, but scaling of this fashion vertical will be extremely difficult. Here, Nykaa is not going by the inventory-led model and is a pure marketplace. So all the premium brands that are there, they already have their own websites, and there are very few exclusive products or few exclusive brands that are available on Nykaa. Now, because Nykaa fashion is comparatively smaller than its competitors like Myntra, Jabong, Flipkart, Amazon, it actually takes a lot more time to deliver the products to its customers than the other marketplaces. Now, will Nykaa succeed in the fashion segment, and will this bet on only targeting the premium consumers actually become profitable and successful? Only time will tell that, but sustaining and surviving in this industry and making it profitable will be extremely difficult for Nykaa. Also, apart from Nykaa fashion, another niche that Nykaa is going to focus on is Nykaa Man. The male grooming industry already has a couple of established players, but the market itself is growing tremendously, providing enough growth opportunities for all the players there. Now, because of the success of Nykaa and seeing the tremendous growth opportunity in the beauty segment, existing e-commerce companies like Myntra are actually investing a lot in their beauty segment. This means that the competition is definitely going to increase. Now, Nykaa does have very loyal customers, but remember, at the end of the day, the customers are loyal and sticky to the products and not the platforms. If some other platform today comes which is giving more discounts and guarantee of authenticity, the customer might actually even shift. So the competitive advantage that Nykaa has of trust, of its customer relationship and the offline and online model, it will only be able to sustain that if it grows rapidly from here and keeps capturing the market ruthlessly. So only time will tell how that takes place, but I am pretty sure Mrs. Falguni Nayar is a extremely intelligent woman, and she will figure out a way to maintain its dominance in the female beauty industry and also come successful in the fashion and the male grooming industry. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you or your friends are using Nykaa as a platform in the comment section below. I come up with a new video every week, so see you next week with another company.